There is a very high chance that you will see this type of question on the test. You're presented with 3x3 matrix. This matrix contains different shapes inside. In our case, the matrix contains triangles, pentagons, and cubes. You have two spaces that are missing the shape, and you need to select from 4 possible choices. Choices A, B, C, and D. Do you see the solution? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds. Maybe give yourself 20 to 30 seconds. Most likely, you will not get any more time on the real test. Ready or not, let's continue and get to the correct solution together. To solve these types of challenges, my advice to you is always look for patterns. And there are multiple patterns present here in this particular challenge. If you will detect and will use at least one of the patterns, you will be able to find solution to this challenge. The first pattern is that the shape's lines are in order 3, 6, and 9 lines. Let me clarify. Triangle has 3 lines, pentagon has 5 lines, and cube has 9 lines. Second pattern is that the small circle inside the shape alternatively rotates from being inside the shape to being outside of the shape. And then the last but not the least pattern is that the black circle outside of the shape also changes its location. So if you follow the pattern and look closely at the possible choices, you will calculate that the correct answer to this challenge is choice C. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's a cool question which you frequently see on the test. You're presented with 2 cubes. One cube has side length equal 1 unit, and second cube is a larger cube and it has side length equals 3 units. So the question is, how many small cubes can fit into the large cube? And you have 4 different choices. Choice A, 9, choice B, 18, choice C, 27, and choice D, 81. Do you know the answer? Give yourself a few moments to calculate it. Maybe 20 to 30 seconds. This is about as much time as you get in the real test. Ready or not? Let's go ahead and get to the correct solution together. To solve this challenge, you need to visually imagine how many small cubes can fit into one side of the larger cube. And the answer is that 3 small cubes can fit on each side of the large cube. And since cube is 3-dimensional, the number of small cubes that can fit into the large cube can be calculated using the formula 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, which is equal 3 cube. That's where the word cube might be coming from, which equals 27. Since cube is 3-dimensional, the number of small cubes that can fit into the large cube can be calculated using the formula 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 equals 3 cube equals 27. So the correct choice here is choice C, 27. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's the tricky problem we frequently see on the test. You're presented with the 7 letters of English alphabet. The letters are C, E, M, A, D, A, and Y. And you need to guess the word using all the letters presented. Give yourself 15 to 20 seconds, maybe longer, depending upon your experience of guessing particular words. Do you see the answer? Let's continue to get to the correct solution together. The correct answer here is the word academy, which is spelled as A-C-A-D-E-M-Y. Did you guess any other words that might meet the criteria of the original question? Please make sure to post them in the comment section of this video so we all can learn. And if you're looking to get better solving word puzzles, make sure to try crosswords as well as the Scrabble game. Here's the question that on the surface seems very, very hard to solve. But in reality, the answer to this question is very simple. You're presented with 5 different squares. Squares 1 through 4 have shapes inside, and you need to determine the missing square 5. You're presented with 4 different choices: A, B, C, and D. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the correct answer. Maybe give yourself 5 to 10 seconds, or maybe longer, 10 to 20 seconds. This is about as much time as you'll get on the real test. Did you figure out the answer? Let's continue to see how we can solve this challenge and get to the correct solution together. As I mentioned, test writers are trying to trick you. And in this particular case, there is no pattern within the shape. It's all random. No matter how hard you try, you will not be able to determine any patterns among those small shapes. The pattern here is the decreasing number of shapes. If you look at the figure 1, it has 6 shapes. If you look at the figure 2, it has 5, 4, 3. So the answer for the figure 5, the number of inside shapes should be 2. So the correct answer here is choice C. Hopefully you nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's the interesting question, which is easy to understand, but at the same time you will have a lot of fun solving it. You need to calculate the simple expression 12 divided by 2 and then multiply it on the value in parentheses, which is 3 minus 1. Take a look closely and see if you can come up with the answer. There are 3 operations here: division, multiplication, and subtraction. All you need to determine is which one to do first, second, and third. Do you think you know the answer? Let's continue and get it solved together. The order of operations in math tells us that the first expression we need to solve is in parentheses. We first need to calculate 3 minus 1. And obviously the answer is 2. The big question is, what do we do next? The order PEMDAS tells us that we need to do multiplication and division. But what order doesn't mention is that we need to do it from left to right. And what's interesting, the acronym itself is a little bit confusing because it shows multiplication first and then division. But in our case, we need to do division first and divide 12 by 2, and then do multiplication. Once we divide 12 by 2, we get to 6, and the final expression we need to solve would be 6 multiplied by 2. So the correct answer here is 12. So did you solve this challenge on your own? Was it easy for you? Please share your thought process and your solution in the comment section of this video. Here's an excellent problem that you frequently see on the test. Anna is 4 years older than her brother. 2 years ago, her brother's age was 3/4 of Anna's age. How old her brother will be in 5 years? And you're presented with 4 different choices. Age 23, choice B 21, choice C 19, and choice D 18. Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds. You can either get yourself a piece of paper or do mental calculations. The problem is simple enough so you can get to the correct answer. Do you see the solution? Let's continue to see how we can get to the correct solution together. The coolest thing about this problem is that it seems simple, but in reality, it deals with 3 moments in time. It deals with today moment, it deals with the moment of 2 years ago, and it deals in the brother's age in 5 years moment. As soon as we know either Anna's or her brother's age at any moment of time, we should be able to calculate brother's age in 5 years. So let's go ahead and do the calculations. In this problem, we're dealing with one fact. Anna is 4 years older than her brother, and this fact never changes. So we can build formula Anna's age equals her brother's age plus 4. We are also dealing with age-specific difference at the moment of time. For example, we've learned that Anna's brother's age was 3/4 of Anna's age 2 years ago. So let's do calculations for 2 years ago. Brother's age equals 3/4 of Anna's age. Now let's use factual information about brother's age. Brother's age equals Anna's age minus 4. And now we can create an equation based on Anna's age in the moment of time 2 years ago. Anna's age minus 4, based on the fact, equals 3/4 of Anna's age, which means that Anna's age minus 3/4 of Anna's age equals 4, 1/4 of Anna's age equals 4, and Anna's age equals 16. So 2 years ago, Anna was 16 years old, and her brother was 3/4 of 16, 12 years old. Now Anna's brother is 2 years older, which can be calculated as 12 plus 2 and equals 14 years old, which means that in 5 years, Anna's brother will be 14 plus 5, 19 years old. So the correct answer here is choice C, 19 years old. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. And now, here's the question for you to try. If you can calculate the answer, please post it in the comment section of this video so I can give you the grade. We have 2 projects, and to complete project 1, it takes 8 hours, and to complete project 2, it takes 12 hours. So how much longer in percentages it takes to complete project 1 versus project 2? You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 4%, choice B, 50%, choice C, 100%, and choice D, 150%. Can you calculate the answer? Please make sure to post it in the comment section of this video so I can give you the grade. Thanks for participating and good luck! Here's the cool question which is frequently used in a test. You're presented with 3 expressions. Circle with the dot inside plus another circle equals 48. In the second expression, you add square plus circle and the result equaled 40. And in the third expression, you divide square by the diamond and the result is equal to. So you need to calculate the diamond. You're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, 6, choice B, 12, choice C, 18, and choice D, 24. Can you do the math? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 20 to 30 seconds, depending how quickly you are with the math. Ready or not, I am moving forward and going to reveal you how to do the calculation and solve this particular problem. If you think about it, the symbols that are presented for this problem are no different to X, Y, and Z that we're so used to in math. So let's look at the first expression from that standpoint. You see that the value of circle can easily be calculated. We do it by dividing 48 by 3, and the result is equal 16. So circle with the dot inside equals 16. In the next step, we need to calculate the square. Square equals 40 minus the circle, which equals 40 minus 16, and the result equals 24. And in the last step, we need to calculate the diamond. Diamond equals square divided by 2, which equals 24 divided by 2, and the result equals 12. So the correct answer is choice B, 12. Hopefully you've nailed this question on your own and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's one of my favorite questions, and it is my favorite because it is so unusual. You are presented with the pyramid. Pyramid contains 5 different layers. If we go from the top to bottom, you have a question mark. This is the number that you need to uncover. The next layer contains numbers 24 and 28. Layer below this contains numbers 10, 12, and 14. Next layer has 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the last layer has numbers 3, 1, 4, 2, and 5. You're presented with 4 different choices for the missing number. Choice A, 55. Choice B, 56. Choice C, 57. And choice D, 60. Do you see the answer? You will be surprised how simple it is to get to the answer when we go to the next step. Give yourself 5, 10, maybe 15 seconds to see if you can calculate and get to the correct answer. Did you figure it out? Let's continue and see how we can get to the correct solution together. Well, here, to be honest, I tried to trick you. I went in describing numbers from top to bottom. But in reality, you should be looking at the numbers from bottom to the top. If we start from the bottom row, for example with numbers 3 and 1, you see that the sum of 3 and 1 will add up to 4. But then it gets trickier. If we go from the second row to the third row, you see that the 4 and 5 does not necessarily add up in 10. 4 and 5 adds up in 9, and then you need to increment it by 1. If you go to the next layer, you need to increment it by 2. And then in the final row, you need to increment it by 3. So the correct answer here is choice 55. Let's recap. Starting with the bottom row, the sum of two squares results in the number in the next row. For example, 2 plus 5 equals 7. However, as each level continues, the sum increases by 1. For example, 4 plus 5, we need to increment and add 1 to get to 10. So the answer is calculated by adding up 24 plus 28 plus 3, which would be equal to 52 plus 3 and would be equal to 55. The correct answer here is choice A, 55. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, please give us a like and consider subscribing. Thank you for your endorsement, support and patronage. Please also check out additional resources in the description section of this video. I also encourage you to check resources page on our website, howtoanalyzedata.net. Please leave your feedback, corrections or suggestions in the comment section of this video. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.